from the Barry Analytica. There is too much dramatically. Whatever. Uh, I should say this announcer firstly. There is my any hobby project. There is not so much professional or I am not a philosopher or an economist at all. But I have ideas about any social science and the combination of the economics is any data of to how any society is ruled or how the political science is getting be make it. What's the meaning of that? In the my country, I say so many something about so many something, but there is not my any hobby term or a job about this thing. There is an academic platform I think I want actually, but I can say this thing: the social science making better without of the data. What's the meaning of that? This data is getting be agree my think, yeah, that can be usable, but there is not can agree my think, no, I don't want to use. And there is not the meaning of that making the political science, there is the making of the any propaganda ideolo- ideology side or everything as well about every things on the every side of them. There is no difference about this thing, and there is a bad thing or good thing, whatever. There's people want, but if we are turning in the political sciences term at the social science, no, there is not a science because the science should be clear for the every side of the every things or the every theories of the any what we want to do. If we are turned any curse of the narrow corridor. This book is really nice book about to getting be agree my things about to any Western civilization is a base Tamil. And so many people's getting me after I checked having a disagree ideas about these books ideas of them. There's a too much conservative libertarian arguments about any if there is no colonization, there is no any European richness. I can agree this thing about one thing because my country is basic as a ancestors Ottoman Empire, richer than as a so much in a European him rivals or whatever. There's ancient states, but after the colonization, and there's a really one thing. There's the making only one thing, gold. As a firstly, actually, not only one thing, because so much intellectual persons when credits of this as a huge subject. For example, Vasco da Gama in the Ottoman Empire, we have no any Vasco da Gama. What's the meaning of that? In the Ottoman states, the prince can be a scientist because every prince want to be a ruler until the killing him brother act is getting be abolished. And after so many prince and so many noble have still in life in the same time, but the European version of them, everyone is still living together. There's so many year to year, and that's why the some prince is the focusing in another things without the rules. For example, the Vasco da Gama, the navigator. There's a really good scientist because ever making the maps and how we should or how we can go into any better places we should do and illuminate actually in this version of them we have a really intellectual persons in the history, yeah, but if these persons wanna do something, sometimes the politics about the history, not about nowadays, getting be there is not meaning of that I can agree or disagree to this. I don't wanna say any comment. Uh, wanna do something to fix anything as well. There's not about any political or any scientific actually scientific political theory or the social data of the Ottoman history. There is about any libertarian word focus is getting the rule or not. Okay, turn the main subject. The people says there is not much to say idea about this book on so much liberal ideas like any maybe extremism at Ayn Rand or Hans Hermann Hoppe or maybe not so much extremistic Hayek or Mrs. Yeah can be as a main starts extremes, but yeah, uh, this works. These things are not working. I disagree this thing really. I can't agree this thing because the right wing, this is without any conservatism, this is religionist part and any nationalist themes about any ethnicities, not about any making the all everyone for making cultural things about them. There's a culturalism, whatever. Uh, use this argument, use this economic policies, and be better, more successful than another leftist rival. The leftist rivals is intellectual or mindset level can be sometimes is better if they're a center, but the economic successful is not so like that. How this is happening? This is happening in this way. The economic one-on-one is same for the everyone because there is the natural rules of them. And if we are getting to focusing and start to criticize and to agree and as a Evangelion review like a curse of Evangelion, the curse of uh, narrow corridor is starting as well. Okay, the first chapter starts about the liberty, and then Ajam will say, or liberty understanding is about the same within a John Locke. The John Locke is really about the old things as well, the start basic theme of the liberty, the liberalism. If I want any use then person of them, the Adam Smith is still better because there is a more centralist, more getting a central, maybe not so leftist, but it's a central as a social state rules of them as a most important. It's an intellectualist. He said that the schools is a part of them ruled by the state or getting be modified of them, getting be checked for just a little part of the industry, and another part should be free. Actually, yeah, it can be in a free market. How? Why he did say like that, or John Locke don't want to say like that? The John Locke's friend is Newton, is a really good scientist, but so much authoritarian person, or if he want to rule anything as well, like in a Royal Academy. If anyone's the same idea or same invest like him, arrest. I did first. Or exactly so much things as well, and the John Locke's related so much things about after meet Newton's about this bad things about any person should be ruled. The person can be dangerous sometimes, whatever. Uh, and after say, and I should say like that, I reading this text in the Turkish and after the translating English because the real reading in the old books and after making the notes about and so much maybe can be good for myself or just a normal hobby reading, but and this part maybe as a this part I don't want to do. I use this way map about any how can I understand this thing so basically whatever. If there is getting me more time wasting going to, yeah, I can change this things as well. The reading is the all part, taking the notes, and about the shorter episodes. But as a first day, I want to do this method. Hmm. Don't think by anyone to permission, attack the another's personality or the rights, moderate him rules, him prosper, uh, property, and saving him what he wants. There is not a freedom, but if there is a different side of them, there is a freedom about the only he can do. These things about the him wants. And liberty is the basic one for the any person of them. Every person. I can agree this thing. And after he said as an say of the sharing the Loxus another say. No one can be no one should be attacked, shouldn't attack another's property, life, health, or wealthy. There's a basic thing. Yeah, but so much one-on-one start liberalism, and that's why the using in the Adam Smith can be better. But no, The Najamov is really genius than music. Actually, there is no any argument about them. There can be so much understandable. He wanted to base it, him ideas with the libertarianism, the basic things. There is no reform liberalism or the central or leftism because my side can be libertarian, yeah, but the more reformist or combination with another side of them, but not about any dialectic or another leftist argument. Another anyone asked that if anyone watched this, but your channel's back team is this Hegel of them. Yeah, it is a good metaphor for Hegelistic apocalypse about the human history. There can be more understandable. The today's is so much understandably academics and any today problems about the basic Tamils with an academician of them, that the ignorantic side is different. As a basic Tamil about the world, not just any part of the land, about the world's problem, about the Hegelistic extremism for them, good or bad. And good and bad is attack the others, and the combination is yin yang. Life and death is a suffering. No, I can understand. I can understand, but there is so much the I don't want to say it, but it's bullshit idea of them. Some examples are real nice about him ideas, but Hegel is a different thing as well. But yeah, the Hegelistic apocalypse, like an Evangelion's final, yeah, real nice footage on my brain. And after this, some things is getting bad happening about any paradigm changes about the world's understanding, the social science, the political as well, whatever. Yeah, I am here at. But yeah, I can change this thing maybe because so much interesting examples or the humors in the philosophy and the history. Yes, still be there. I can make maybe write about if I don't want if I not being a tired, whatever. And after he give the any example, say that in the history we have no so much liberal activity as a freedom as a complex team for every side of any society, state, or whatever. We have no good examples of them in the history. Just a few. Maybe these examples can be in ancient Greek, early age of Rome for the nobles or the high levels, or whatever. And today, nowadays, is the Western society. And after, give the same thing as an Locke's understanding of the freedom. But this freedom's about any not being only getting rich, and he did give any say for him understand that him looks today's immigrants is meaning of that. There is not about money. There is about freedom. People want to be in a better life as a freedom within a if I want to raise my money, this having a meaning of that. What's the meaning of that? If I have no any liberty, the money is only can be in a one times and just a little few parts of the any community of the society, and that's why the Western societies having a him as a same time as a freedom, and as I think them the tools of them. How can I use this freedom, being the better, being the better person, being a better life, and make more money of them. There is not about just the money. There is about any team of them. There's ingredients of the money too. There's him understand, and yeah, I can agree this maybe thing, but just not so much because the freedom paradigm is can be in a different camp for everyone, the every society. Some societies, the some countries being is more liberal, more freedom in the place to my origin, and another person of them. There is so much autocratic for this time. There can be a changeable actually. But if we say that, yeah, it's the most free society, yeah, we can say that there's the United States. Everything is okay because every side of the world, some have rules of the secrets or getting based. But United, there is no. If there is about freedom of speech, yeah, this is okay. The only one example of them, there is a really interesting actually. There's not about only being saying a good something about United States. There's the reality. This state is basic rules and any foundation once about any freedom and then Scottish illumination and any one person can be sealable. So okay for them, the Adam Smiths, but whatever. Uh, that is not about any my reform liberalism understanding paradigm against any conservative liberal futurism with them. But I want any free podcast about not just one text about them. If any one debate subject, and after yeah, I can make any guest or whatever, talking just giving my ideas about, giving my questions about any to myself and to this problem and any arguments about philosophy and this science, whatever. As a next part, the worst, the worst disaster at the world. Yeah, after he given an example, the Syrian civil war. Yeah, I did remember this passage. If getting be shorted, getting simplified of the he says, the human life in the civil wars and the anarchy ages is not so important. Everyone can be loose. Everything is changes as a paradigm. Everyone's life looking is differently because there is anarchy. Everything can be happening. And after, yeah, is a Gilgamesh problem. Yeah, I remember it too. This really can be nice for them. Uh, make note to myself after I trying the podcasts about and giving to my ideas, remembering and make notes about every term of the book, whatever. That's the turn subject. And after the Gilgamesh problems about the really old questions about the freedom, the rulers and the powers. What's the meaning of that? Just a short version of the story. One societies having a really strong and but brutal leaders. There's the Gilgamesh, and he ruling people with a really in extreme powers and make the problems with the peoples and people really getting tired and these people's praying to God and please God send anyone send any power for making anything to Libra to Gilgamesh and after God sent as a upside sending justice or the freedom maker or toll whatever and these two powers make the war the Gilgamesh and the gods sand powers make the war and after Gilgamesh win but Gilgamesh is really getting be damaged of this war and after this two power make the deal and rule the people as an with them really good example for the after Soviet collapse, states like Middle Asia, but not so much European area. There is a really a different world with them, but there is a really different world. Every Soviet states are not same. Every Soviet same ethnic states are not same. If giving any example of them, really changes. Another any Middle Asian states and Eurasian states, if anyone say that autocracy is not same, it really changes because, but yes, the liberty is a freedom is a equal one. It is a different thing, whatever. And after got really mad and sending another's power and the same things sometimes is getting beat, sometimes getting equal, making the deal and continue. And what we should understand is the story. There is no any liberation or getting the any equality or the getting stabilization, any autocratic or any hardest times can be fixed as an only one or any huge state as a stronger as an wisest power can be stopped about. It is not about any if anyone getting be not no one getting triggered for whatever about any religion criticized. No, there is about any about the power and things as well. Actually, there can be any basis for any religion. Maybe this story's got really nice person, whatever. Uh, there is no way. If something's getting be better, there is about any history. There is take the times and after day to day is in a moment to moment something is getting be better. There is no any quick fix about the problems and the people's development, the society's development, and the growing actually. Yeah, the societies can be really same about childs. Some childs going to any different way. Some childs grow as in a better, change as in a better. Some dialectic as in a him stories is a maybe writing can be a good example of them. The every story is having a protagonist, antagonist, and this sometimes they're having a still the same chances, but look, going to the another sides. The society is really like them, and the main idea of the stories of them there can be any develop as a changes, but there is no any same on cure for everything things. There is no. And after he product him books as main subject as a opening the freedom is a narrow corridor. And at this chapter or the chapters as a alt-tab whatever saying that why this book's name is narrow corridor and what is the why this corridor is narrow and why there is a corridor without any door. Donald Hacımoğlu giving an answer for that two questions of them. And as a first word, as a firstly, is the pronoun how we going to this way. Any state or any society uh, shot forth the freedom, the liberty, and other themes like that. There is a strong state and a strong society of them because he did give an answer for that why there is a state should be here because the anarchy is always getting attacked for any rights of them. The anarchists say that there is any crime of the, any old states problems. There is no state, there is no problem. Say that we have no chance for getting it tested, but sometimes yeah, all the people things like that is if they read these themes, not of every person the liberals thus maybe the right liberals maybe the right on leftism is an old team there is no any meaning of this today but liberals more free marketist more there is no I have no right to others and there is no one having a rights to my other and I can be in a conservative or I can be in a progressive whatever things as well the basic, the classic liberals, things like that. If there is no state, there can be rule. My answer is no. It's a huge no. This agree to my too at this thing because firstly you have no state but others have state and another you have a culture and culture is the property you should keep your property and this is second yeah this is too much Hans Hermann but whatever he is right about them the culture is a property and the property could be secure of them but him false is starting as a say that the gun as an helicopter memes no there is a too much extremist and uh, another dialectic, the liberal idea. We have no attack. We have no right for attacks. The other rights for we think like a different thing like that. And no one can be argument about the helicopter shit as well, the Pinochet, whatever. And this thing, he don't want to say as a complete this thing, but yeah, it's going to be as a use the power for to keep your freedoms and stay if anyone wanna attack your freedom, yeah, you should be in a keep your freedom as a blocking attack. There is the old team, but I don't wanna say so much things as well because there's a huge context. Whatever. As a second, I don't wanna say it's a completely false. No, it's a complete true. No. There's a long things as well. I'm not an extremist or the libertarian or ANCAP as well. I am centralist way that. As I'm more intellectualist actually because I'm reading too much things as well. I'm reading the Marxist American Civil War notes as well because yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't like not about him personality, but him ideas is going too well. But him personality, him what? No, it's a huge perspective. But yeah, it's early baby times of the capitalism, and problems still be there, and any person wanna be getting to fix these problems, but sometimes it's not so getting well. These ideas, yeah, is the problem say that is not real nice. The problem is deducted as this, and after what's your answers? Autocracy, no. And this problem searching is not so completely true because they use the dialectic of the Hegel. This is the materialistic version. The Hegelism is no, there is no any given a. There's a very really useful for the as a search something and getting be invest something. Yeah, this is the problem. There is the meaning of the everything about the two sides is getting be war about them. There is any different goals, different ones, different perspective, and this perspective is getting be crushed. Yeah, this is really interesting idea. Getting be really good for understanding so much things as well. But if any ideas getting be illuminate everything as well, maybe you are. Do you wanna look like every problem, like as a every things the same dialectic, same looking. No, not every problem is looking like a same problem. There is the understanding as a everything as in a use the carton box at your eye, and after yeah, this is the and there isn't any colored version of them as in a glasses as in a different looking glasses, different looking. Yeah, I can make any comics about these things, whatever. Any humor about this thing as a different color glass about this two boxes side of your eyes, and yeah, everything's looking like this color. Every problem is looking like this color. This problem is red, this problem is blue, and these problems are crashing, this wants, this people, whatever, and this is gonna be looking like that. The dialect is so much like that. My levels are not so many huge as an understanding of this problem or getting explain something's problem, but I wanna make the any episode about Hegel, but there is no meaning of that. I hate Hegel. I don't wanna hate so much people about the philosophers and the science people because there people wanna make science. But on the other hand, the followers and the people getting the argument this thing, there should be like that. If anyone say any different idea to myself, they're getting be crushed. I don't like these persons. Anyone have no different idea about yours idea, but if these ideas is a Hans Hermann of the start, like start in this case, attack your freedom, attack your life wants about him as a combination of them, the Hans Hermann and the John Locke. If your life getting be dangerous about to anyone's attacked, there's a different thing. You should keep them. There is no liberty. There's the attack the people's life. But the SJWs use these things as well. Everything's giving me a PST, and the PTSD is like attacked my life, and there's getting down my life quality, and that's why I can regulate something for the being a better life. Philosophy is really hard thing, but no, I don't think so. There's the attack. There's a really getting mess of all the freedom. There's having a border of them, of the physically and as an regulationally about destroying him life is as a border of them. Whatever. There is no way to say the idea, but same idea and others is be as a make the falses whatever is a long term. If we should say about this thing, the liberties border is a long story, but I did say it's just a little version of that my looking, but not so much clearly. I should reading so much things as well. How we can regulate or not regulate this thing because regulation is getting me down the yield of any job. Okay, and don't say that. Between of them any strong and despotic state and as an anarchist and there is no rightist dystopia and people getting between of the stay between of this apocalyptic as an anxiety how we can fix that there is no narrow corridor people is entering the corridor because there is a corridor because so many different lifestyles, so many different life looking, so many different origins people is staying in one place or under any state. and there is like a use like a community per community places. There is a maybe in a bus, maybe as in a walking in a really popular state, a popular uh, oh, square or etc etc. You have no any only your personal space. You can use the way for you want because everyone's wanna go any place. And if you wanna go, what do you wanna go at this really narrow and popular, and that's why the peoples are here. The square, you are getting crushed and the one, and there is a symbolization of that crashing the rights of them. Yeah, and after he said there is an okay, there is a too much can be understandable of them why it is a narrow corridor. And after this corridor is going to way, there is no any want to going anything. There is no going to any uh, finish points. There is no corridor. It's an infinite corridor, like liminal spaces, or as a huge internet, is a really popular internet meme. Backrooms, infinite. But the backrooms have a finish of them. But whatever. Walking, be attention for the then monsters, whatever. In this corridor, we can be edit any monsters of them. No, because there is no monster of them. There is no correction in the rights. There is no correction in the ignorance and any intellectuality. But we still be there. We should we should learn then how we can respect another and respect another respect how we give he respect whatever there is no but narrowity and any popularity of this narrow corridors. And after this chance of being the developing society is really few. There is no any optimistic idea of them. They don't say that the huge part of them is getting be crushed and there is no any developed. The way is finished. The corridor is blocked. But if any societies can do and still be continue the follow the way together, there is the development. There is the civilization is burning and growing until what he going to do. And if any, but that is my idea. If any societies, if any civilizations can't going to follow the way, and others taking the flex and going to do. Civilization is equal. Civilization is not equal. Civilization is the same. The cultures are different. And after, how this is happening? That is really hard because staying the person, staying the states, the communities about him start position. Why any state wanna give him the freedoms? Why the people wanna keep him rights? Being a more open-eyed for keeping rights is really important in Arab corridor. People being attention, people being open-eyed, more be careful for taking him rights, and any rulers is be more understandable for this person's think and don't do mistakes and trying to don't do mistakes is the basic thing for the narrow corridors to understand how this is happening. And after Daron's giving an example of the Gilgamesh problems, any reading the Gilgamesh problem is in a woman freedom moment and the history, and given a so much examples of them about them as a the Middle Eastern and states is given the women right equality prices him the state organization as a which one is the more clearly giving the price of them getting the example of them. And there is not a bad one, there is a really good one because a progressive ones, but there is no fixed problems as a completely because there is a given, not taken. There is a basic thing as well. Given is not changing problem. Taken is a changing problem. And but if given is given, is this given having a different side of them between a m as a same as a given and a token is the same time? Yeah, this is really interesting and there can be keeping. Yeah. And giving an example of them, the these parts are not can be as a completely agreeable. Uh, attack the another's right for taking their human rights, is getting bombed the prime minister's house in the Lloyd George. And I don't like Lloyd George as a completely, but bombing, no. If we are bombing any person, we have no difference with them. The Lloyd Georges really make huge mistakes about the human life, but the bombing, no. There is no change to problem. If we can do, if we trying to do, we have no difference with the Lloyd George. And this woman's, I can understand this woman's. Lloyd George is a disgusting person, and him mentality is discussed. There's not about the conservatism. The conservatism is can be agreeable for the progressivism. Lloyd George is a different case. I don't want to talk about him more. Uh, but no, there is not as a good example of them. The bombing, attacking, any terrorist organ, the terror things for the taking rights or example of them, there is no change of them. How people's how the rights can be taken. Uh, Martin Luther King, real nice example of them. There is no violence. There is nothing. I have a dream. Use the peacefulity, intellectuality, and the people's hearts are the talking of them. There is an injustice, and continue, 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 and continue. And after they are taken. But the violence is there is no answer. But after we turn the women rights act about them, yeah, the women's rights in the history is a really long perspective. The first wave, second wave, the third wave, and the today's is I can't support any fourth wave, but is a first three or the first trilogy is really agreeable and really agree of them because how much equality as a actly as a rightly, not about you are equal, you everything should be equal, not about the genders. Any women's or any women's are not equal. Any man's is not equal. There is about the personality. There is about the intellectual. There is about the chances. There is about the healthy. If anyone's have no chance for being the better or getting developed himself, we getting to help these peoples. Yeah, within the social states of them. But if the competitions make people better, yeah, this be continue the suffering. There is not about it. Like so many women being more successful than men, so many men successful than women. Is continue to continue, continue to continue, and the one any person can be better, not any gender of them. But yeah, if we want to do this, the first thing we should fix the right problem as a woman rights. As a so many countries in the world, there is no woman right of them. If we can't make a base for the human rights as a equality and in state and in chances and in everything as well, yeah, there can be a fixed problem as that. It's a first thing there can be, and I have an idea about them. The feudalism is a huge problem as of them. The first thing we should getting destroyed the feudalism, and after the equalist persons getting be attack the competition growing in the society and several to everything as well. There is not about any man actually or woman actually. Any don't so many people giving the example of the women say that why they are being not so unqualified and but mean half to half quota for taking any job the women serve. Actually, sometimes can be a man for using this thing for being unsuccessful, but taking by any woman's place for these jobs is being a more uh, feelness, but women are feel have no strong feels. Haha. No, there will be happening for the every person of them. There is not about gender. There is not about any borning as well. Any persons can be grown to any places. The persons are differently, but after we should fix any basic terms of the making the anti-feudalism, making the equal rights, equal starting for the everything as well. Not about any family, not about successfulity, not about any growing, but giving the chance for everyone as them. Whatever, there's a different thing. But yeah, I support the first three wave of the feminism. The fourth wave I have a so much strong disagree argument about them, but I don't want to make the debate of these persons because they are don't want to care the another's idea. They don't want to listen. They don't want to. If they are want to listen, there's about only attack and destroy the another's idea. But I don't want to change the another's idea. There's my idea. There's their idea. Just freedom, dude, or sister, whatever. And yeah, the starting chapter is like that. Understanding that Narrow corridor. What's the narrow corridor? The argument of the narrow corridors is starting, the Gilgamesh problem, the civil wars, the autocracy, and any gender equalities are just starting as a human rights as them. Yeah, but equality is a really huge perspective of them. Everything is a long story, but yeah, as a constitutionally, as a chance in the life, yeah, as a starting, as a given the chance, can be an a given. If we wanna say that equality, yeah, equality, okay, but real meaning of the equal, not being the better or fewer, complete equal. No, my disagree ideas completely as an eternal equality of them. There is not about gender. There is not about things because so many alt-right persons about to attack the use this argument for attack the women right of them. No, there can be untolerated because you only want to destroy to another's right for your dogma. Actually, there is not about the religion. There is not about it. There is about yourself. You want to make the dogmas about your life. Everything can be grow as a better. Every idea, every things, every religion understand. Religion is the same, but understanding is changing. And you can ask that the religions can be okay for this age. Yeah, I can really okay. I still believe one of them, but whatever. There is a huge the perspective of the narrow corridors starting as well. But I really getting tired. There's no 40 minutes, and there can be a finish at this place. And after the starting is the how history ends and the anarchy is coming. And given an example of that, the 1989, the Francis Fukuyama gave the uh, yeah, yeah. The Francis Fukuyama used to say about the liberalism is eternal winning for the after the Cold War. Every company, every state organization is getting be combination, getting be mixed of the United States is political and the industrial combination. There is a mixed and there is a ruled by them, and there is an industrial liberalism is winning. So wisely, whatever. End of the history is coming for this argument, but there is no different episodes of subject. Until the next part of them, if I getting don't so much boring it about this thing or tired, I can make another episode. I will make another episode of them. Okay, bye.